Hello and welcome to VLADdoodles' first ever sketchbook tour. Um, Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, two things. One, I am highly aware of my lisp and how quickly I speak. I'm trying to slow it down and speak a little more clearly for this video because it's bad. Two, I kept trying to make this like a short video, but it really wasn't working out, so I'm going to say now, this video is probably going to be kind of long. I'm sorry for that, but you could just put me on in the background or skip the video altogether because of that. I'm going to take my time on this video so I don't feel terrible. Now, first things first, sketchbooks, sketchbook types, and paper. Me personally, when I go for a sketchbook, I like going for a hardcover because spirals and paper covers have let me down, or rather, I've let them down. I throw them in my bags, I don't take care of them, and I'm incredibly messy sometimes when it comes to my sketchbook, and they just get ruined and destroyed, so I stopped using them a long time ago. Also, I just prefer the cleaner, kind of put together look of a hardcover, especially in like my bookcase or something. So with this sketchbook and like this brand of sketchbook, they're pretty plain, as you can see. There's like black sketchbooks, and so I just typically put like a little sticker on it. Sometimes or oftentimes it is a butterfly or some kind of moth, but lately I've been kind of jumping around, kind of doing my own thing. But if I don't put it in the front, I put it on the inside. So first page for me, at least when I do sketchbooks, is always for sketchbook goals. And I remember at first when I started doing sketchbook goals, I put like a list of like 10 things, 12 things, and by the end of it, I felt really terrible because when I go to the end of the sketchbook and I finish it, I go to the front of the sketchbook and I check off like on a list, and I'm like, oh, what did I accomplish? What did I do? Do I count this as like me trying or whatever? And I kept ending up only doing like one or two things in there, and so I felt really bad because I'm like, oh, what, I wasn't really trying to do these things. I couldn't like focus on those things, which like, yeah, you gave yourself a super long list and you have ADHD. Why would you think that without checking that list ever, you would hit every single note on there? And so now I keep it to like 3 to 4, maybe 5. I'm feeling extra frisky. And I will study those 3 things, and I'll add like some extras. Will be like, oh, draw animals, or draw a house, or draw a shoe, or look into this. And so for this one, my sketchbook goals, the main things I focused on were color, perspective, and backgrounds. And the extras were animals, styles, and personal projects, which you will see in here. A lot of them aren't complete and are things I want to get back to eventually and try like finishing, but in the time being, they are just like, just thumbnails, little pins in them in the making. So after we go through sketchbook goals, I always put like, all the socials or whatever. I feel like if it gets lost, isn't really necessary because I take it with me everywhere and I watch like a hawk. But if someone were ever to open it and they didn't know who it belonged to, they can just go there, I guess. So I remember when starting this sketchbook, I was super excited because I had just got these in the mail, and I think I got it, a day or two before I actually finished the previous sketchbook, and so I kept staring at them, and I was like, oh my god, I wanna color with them so bad. And these are the Winsor Newton designer squash set. So the first thing I do when I get any art supply, even if it's a pencil or a different lead, I always swatch it just to see, what's going on with that. Swatching's super important. So I do a regular schmegular old swatch on the side, and then I was like, oh, my main study today, or like study in the sketchbook, is going to be color, so why not do like a color study? And so I basically layered all the colors, and then I layered them differently, or like in kind of a line. I don't know how I did it, but it was a weird little thing, basically to see what 2 colors make what and what quantity and blah blah blah. And the exercise was honestly super useful and incredibly good, and I think I learned a lot just from doing this, and I definitely want to try it again, but maybe with like watercolors or maybe with like alcohol markers. So yeah, I would say yes in my book. I think give it a try if ever. Next page, I also got at the same time some what is this, Tombow maybe? Oh, Kurotake. Um, brush pens. I like the brand. They're one of my favorites. But my only problem is that even though I like these markers, I like these markers, I like these like little fine liners or whatever. My only problem with those is that I prefer to have like a Pentel pocket brush pen or something, like one that's refillable, because even though I like them, if I like them, I'm gonna use them, and they go out of ink, obviously, and so they're you can't refill them, and so I have to end up buying more. Like I have the little Tombow ones, and I just buy big packs of them, and I use them constantly when I am in the mood to use them. And I always like feel kind of bad, but I'm like, whatever. So I try not to use them, and I feel guilty for using them, but yeah, I don't know. Art supplies are expensive. That's the main thing to take away from that. So tried them out, swatched them, talked about them, whatever. I did a little drawing with them just to see how they felt. Now, these 2 pages, I think, were the most I tried the color theory, exercises or whatever. And like, I mainly tried color theory by painting, just like kind of doing art afterwards. And I think these 2 paintings honestly turned out super well. And I think it was simply because I had did that exercise in the beginning of the sketchbook. So here you have my OC, Sume. If you know him, you know him. He's like, I feel like I don't post a lot about him technically. He does have an unveil, but I think the people who do know the most about him are like people who join live videos. And so eventually though, I want to post more OC content, especially on YouTube. I want to do like more animations and stuff like that. And so I do also want to like make me like a lore breakdown of like him as a character or something. Sounds really fun to do. Next, you're wondering, why is this paper here? What's happening? What's going on? I am an idiot, and I lost the sketch, and instead of fixing the face with gouache, because I was using gouache, I instead like added feathers or something. And so I regretted my decision immediately when I finished, and I just redid a new sketch on top of it. This is the painting in mind, and painting or whatever. I haven't really done a nice detailed painting like this in a while, and I might do another one soon, just because I like doing little detailed gouache paintings every once in a while. This random scribble up here is me talking about art supply. It's at art supply and like actually trying it, because swatching an art supply versus actually using it can be very different things, and they kind of reveal more than just putting it on paper and seeing how it looks. Next up, not much really going on here. I have like a little color theory thing where I was trying out some things to see what they look like, some layering stuff. They look pretty cool, a lot of sketches. In this sketchbook, I went through a lot of art block, so do not be surprised if some of these pages are basically blank. Ooh, this is my Bloodborne OC. I tried drawing them 2 different ways. First, I drew her kind of like cunty, and I was like, oh, I don't actually like that. Like, I don't like her looking, I don't know. She looks very like Instagram-y, TikTok-y, conventionally attractive, and I'm just not into that. And so I drew her like this and fell in love with her a little bit. I have to draw her more often. I want to do more Bloodborne fan art. Next up over here, backgrounds. Typically with my lists of to-dos and to practice and like goals, I do in the first few pages try my best to like do as much of them as possible before I forget, because later on I'll be like, oh, I did nothing, but I can still count it if it's in the beginning of the sketchbook, because I at least tried at some point. Oh yeah, so it's a random character I made up. All of this, I believe, was alcohol marker, and then this purple color I used for like the outlines was actually purple gouache. So I think it was leftovers from the painting on the previous page. I just didn't feel like wasting paint. Okay, I keep moving the sketchbook. So here we have more tracing paper. I really had this kind of fun idea for a motorcycle, but with like, instead of it being just like the bike by itself, like the wheels, had like androids on the side with like 2 different personalities, and so it's kind of like split in the middle. It's a really interesting it's a really interesting concept that I want to look into, but I'm lazy and I don't. So I wrote things down about it, and left a little note for myself to go over later. But for now, I have not revisited. Also because I do not go back to my old sketchbooks often, if at all, to do anything. I have to be really determined to do something like that, or like remember in the first place. Here, I think I just was drawing to draw. I had art block, so they're not very good. They're kind of lame, and just for like my head, for memory. I do, weirdly enough, like this wet sign, though. I don't know what it is about it, but I do like it. It is very nice. Okay, so here I got a new pencil in the mail or something. I had just bought a new pencil, so I was trying that one out. There's not much to say on this page. Yeah, this was like during art block, so not much going on. I remember this, really liking this actually, this idea of like this like harpy kind of creature, but I don't know why I gave it like mechanical legs. I think it's kind of cool too, but also why? This one was crazy for me. I think the main reason I did this one is because I wanted to try out, I don't know, like so in the sketchbook, one of it was personal projects, and one of my personal projects is I want to make at least one mini comic or like AU of my OCs and like finally like release it, you know, like on my Instagram or like on TikTok or whatever, just to have it up there, just like have it be a thing. And so I was trying to get into the mindset of like drawing certain like frames or panels or making things look interesting and using a lot of like grayscale and stuff like that. And so I was doing this. Since then, I have not perfected, but like I have like gone a lot better at just like using grayscale like this. And I'll show that later on, maybe in a different video. But yeah, I've been using mainly digitally, but I've been doing it, so exciting stuff. So again, we're doing art blocks, nothing's good. I tried painting. I was like, you know what? I'm an art block, but painting's still fun. It was not fun. I don't even want to show what's underneath that. It's just bad. I like nothing on this page. Like, why is her head like that? What's going on here? I think he's weirdly really good, and I do like him and like the design. This is kind of interesting, but that hand is crazy. And then just chilling, honestly. Just pretty casual. Casual face. Next up, more little sketches. A lot of small sketches. During art block, I don't typically make anything grand or interesting. It's a lot of like little faces or like random like little bodies or whatever. Like, you know, look, little faces. This is Evo, my OCs. Random bodies. I also, Evo, my OC, again. I also love drawing like box and stuff like that. I feel like in this sketchbook, I didn't draw a lot of boxing or like martial arts a lot, which I love to draw and I love to like consume as like a media, especially when it comes to like manga, anime, TV shows. It's my jam, okay? Like webtoons. My favorite webtoon is The Boxer. If you have not read it, go read it. It's so good. Yeah. Next up, these are like backgrounds I had found on Pinterest, and I kind of took like portions of the backgrounds and tried drawing them really quickly. A lot of these don't really make a lot of sense, but because I tried keeping it very minimal and very much so just like the organic or like the general shape, like square, rectangle, square, rectangle. I feel like it doesn't really read well, but I can kind of feel it in my bones, and so I'll let slide. This bear ended up being really freaky, and I'm pretty sure the bear wasn't actually in the original image. And for this one, I kind of like noticed that when like drawing backgrounds from like my head or whatever, like from like reference, sometimes I don't pay attention enough, especially to like the planes, like the floor and stuff like that. And so what ends up happening is that the background, like I don't know, like the floor kind of warps. Like the perspective is like strange, like a little off, you know? It's a little strange. Next up, I think I used my glass pen for this one, and I was kind of like crafting up some backgrounds for, or like kind of not backgrounds, but like, you know, like world building for like some of my OCs and like their universes that I have them in. And I do want to recreate this later on, but like detailed and like make it look nice and, you know, fix the perspective and stuff like that. But I think the idea is kind of here. If you look closely enough, don't look closely. Next, for again, more stuff from my head during art block. I don't know why, but I can draw a mean Freddy Fazbear from my brain, from my noggin, okay? But the problem I think his face, like in the inside of his face feels more Bonnie for some reason. But I don't hate it. Like, I think it's super cute. That's it for that page. More color studies. I was trying out, you know, like the primary colors and mixing those ones slowly. I hated doing this. I hate drawing these wheels. They really make me mad. Color notes, you know, whatever. And then this is where I first got my my Z nib dip pen, and it was a heck of a learning curve. I think it is on live video, like on live stream too, and so it was really embarrassing. Next up I have here, which it's like, I think it's like some random markers that I own. I tried to teach myself grayscale, you know, but I'm really bad at grayscale for some reason, and I don't know why. It's like when I'm painting something or drawing something, at least now, I mean, I'm obviously better at grayscale now, but back then especially, I don't know what my problem was. I just couldn't figure it out. Mainly traditionally. Traditionally, making grayscale for me, for some reason, is like pulling teeth, and I don't understand why I don't get it, and like why I can't understand it. But I think it's just because of, I'm so used to like dark to light, that when I'm trying to do it like on paper and I have to go like light to dark, I just get completely mixed up. So here we have, I think this has started off first as a, what was it? It started off as a, like pen doodle or something, and then I was like, oh, I should paint this, and then I started painting it, and then I decided no, because I'm lazy and had art block. I honestly liked the sketch before, but I do like the, I like the colors. I think some of the colors are nice, like for the skin is like pretty cool, and the concept is kind of interesting. Not really my taste, honestly, but I think I kind of drew this thing because I was playing a lot of Hades, and I was very inspired by Hades. More pen of that dip pen that I got, and trying that out for the first time. Here it's crazy because like my lines are very thin in the like beginning when I was using it, but now when I draw with the pen, it's like more confident, so I press down a lot harder and I get thicker lines. So this is interesting to watch, or interesting to see. Hold on, let me see. This is my video. I can make it as long as I want. If I want to spend fucking 12 minutes on this one page, I will. Let me see. Yeah, this is maybe like the same pen. I think this one I tried to be delicate with the lines, but I don't know, the confidence is just very different with the pen now. Like this is very clearly like, you know, quick and easy, but I don't know, these ones just feel kind of weak and shaky to me. At least for me, and like how I draw. Like I don't know, you might not be able to see it, but I can see it. I know me, okay? I was born with me. Yeah, okay, anyways. Next up, with that dip pen, I got a new ink. It's not waterproof. And here starts my personal projects. So I was thinking of doing like a Three Little Pigs or Little Red Riding Hood or some kind of like short fairy tale or like folk tale of my OCs in that universe. And I was going to do my favorite OCs, which is going to be Sume, Evo, Cassie, and Chuck. And I was breaking down like Little Red Riding Hood, and I was like going over and like crossing references and trying to pick up panels or whatever. And I think I had decided that I wanted this full thing to be, I think like 12 pages or something. I wanted it to be like an incredibly short story, but like, you know, fun to like look at and watch or something. And so I started so this was here, me figuring out like the colors and like the outfits for them really quickly. And then here's where I start paneling. And I think I actually got halfway through all of the planning for this, but then when things picked up in the story, I just didn't finish for some reason. So yeah, so there's 1 and it's like 1 through 4 on this page, I think. So 1, 2, and then 3 and 4. During this, I did because I really make a comic in the future, and so I went through a lot of like learning to panel or like observing other panels. So I was going to like Pinterest and like not sketchbooks. I was going to Pinterest and comic books that I own, and just like basically drawing out panels that I thought really interesting for me to emulate and like look at in the future and be like, oh, like how do they make like 2 panels interesting? How do they make 3 panels look interesting? Like what's a way to put 5 panels into something? Which honestly, doing this had really helped. And now I'm not perfect at making it, but I can kind of like whip out like a decent looking like panel that doesn't look like it's, you know, completely horrible. Like it looks kind of interesting. So yeah, so we have 5 now, 6, 7. Oh, I did more. Page 8 actually. So maybe it was 14 pages. That's 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, I think it was 24 pages then. Probably 24 pages for the comic then I was doing. But yeah, I had everything planned on this. I think I have all the dialogue, all like the noises, stuff like that. I have like notes and everything. I do want to go back and actually like make this comic though. Or at least like make the half that I did finish writing. Okay, so here it was me trying to draw myself. This kind of get in the way. I was desperately trying to figure out how to draw myself. I just did not. I was underneath here for a second. Let me see if I can figure this out. Give me seconds. Give me seconds. What do I do? What if I use my mic thing? That works. Okay. So here it was me trying to draw myself. I am really bad at drawing myself, and I think, I don't know, like I don't really know what I look like, and then I don't look into mirrors often or like look at my appearance or take a lot of photos. And then there's like the part where like I look kind of strange, you know, like I feel like I don't look like a lot of people. I have like a very clear appearance, you know, it's very not recognizable. I don't know, I guess recognizable is like a word for it. Like I have a unique face structure, I guess. And so I was just trying really hard to like get that to, I don't know, to look right. It's hard to make it look right. Next up we have more sketches with like the same pencil, I believe. This one, I don't want to like it. I no longer like this now because I see a lot of mistakes with it, but at the time I had a lot of fun doing it, and I did feel kind of proud of like this little sketch. Ooh, okay, so this one I remember being like a crowd favorite. It was like a little ink wash, and I did like a bit of like gouache over it, and that was kind of it. And I had a lot of fun with this, and I think I want to make more things with it. And this is like my favorite blue ink ever, and so I will explore probably. A lot of sketches. I think I took this one and made it a like gouache thing eventually. I did not like how it turned out really. But it was good for practice. Ooh, okay, so here is where things kind of fall apart in this sketchbook a bit. So I was in the car for these, and for like I think a page or two over, because I was going to help people move furniture or something, and I was, you know, it was a super long trip. It was like 3 or 4 hours out, and I got some new art supplies while I was there though, because we stopped in like this really cool place like Austin or something, and they had a bunch of like Japanese stationery, and so I bought a bunch of cool stuff. And I think I had these with me in my bag. Got them from work. They're a bunch of like little like brush watercolor pens, so I was trying those ones out. And so all these sketches are kind of insane. And yeah, I think I didn't really draw much during this trip because I was binging Evangelion. These fun little creatures right here are from my older brother. I like when people draw my sketchbooks. I think it's fun. I think it adds character, and also it's like a little memory, you know? It's like I can look at that and be like, oh, I can remember the exact moment they drew that, and like how we like laughed about it, or like we made a joke or like an inside joke or whatever. So yeah, a lot of things. Oh, my shoulder was hurting because we were moving things, and so it was very sore, and so that was that. And I also had I didn't eat any slices or anything like that. Um, I think I said this because okay, so it's gonna sound super weird, but you know, like Zoolander, there's like a part of the movie where they're asking him all these questions, and they're like, "Oh, what do you have for like lunch, or what do you have for dinner? What do you have for this or whatever?" Or like, what if, I don't know, something like how are you feeling? It's something with eating. I forgot what they were talking about exactly, but he like responds. And he's like, "With a lime slice, with a lemon slice, an orange slice," and so I don't know. Like the way he said like lemon slice made like this like the word slice, the way he says it makes my brain kind of like vibrate a little with happiness. A lot of writing, cheese, some OCs doing things. This is my OC Sume again. It's kind of one of his old designs, and this was for something in particular. I was gonna post, but then I ended up not posting it. But I do want to go back to it later, maybe like make it like a fully rendered drawing or something, because it is incredibly cool. I think it's an incredibly cool sketch. A lot of random sketches. I think in the sketchbook towards this part, I didn't do a lot because I was in such a crazy art block, but I did like work on I think I worked on a lot of like bodies and stuff like that. Like even like here, I can like see the problems with it. Like, oh, I have improved a little bit, and I can see where I went wrong with these ones. But yeah. So little backpack. I like drawing little backpacks from my head, from memory, just because. More art block, and I had gotten a new ink, and so I was trying out that ink. I love this color, and I've been using it a bit more actually, like recently for sketches and stuff like that. I ate this. This was super good actually. It was a super good like little thing. Yeah, not much going on here. Oh, Nanami. He's just hanging out there. More sketches. Toji, because he's my husband and I'm in love with him. And nothing else basically, because art block is insane. Oh, at this point I was deciding if I don't know, I was genuinely considering doing commissions, and I think I still might be open to it now, but I don't know, dude, like, commissions sound super fun, super chill, but I'm like, I don't have the time for it, I don't think, because my job is super inconsistent. Like, I think in, like, the past, like, month or two, for 1 month, I didn't work for, like, 3 weeks, basically. I worked, like, 2 or 3 days out of the entire 3 weeks, and then the last like month so far, I have worked every single day besides one day. And yeah, so it flip-flops between me doing nothing for work and doing everything for work. And I was like, you know, that's really inconsistent, and I have bills to pay. So I was considering doing commissions and stuff like that. But also, it's like, if I am still working that job and commission's going to be a secondary income, there's like the problem of like, okay, well, will you have time to actually draw these commissions? But I'm thinking I might just make like small like sketch commissions or something first, and not do like actual commissions, like artwork commissions, but be like, oh, profile pictures, or you know, whatever. And so there's that. I don't even know what that is. We're gonna ignore that. Random stuff with this pen again. I really like this ink with like black for some reason. I feel like it stands out, but also it's like it just looks nice, you know, it looks really nice. So here's my OC Milk. It's hard to see very clearly here, but I was also considering making a short comic with just him in it as like a short like little horror comedy, because he's kind of a silly character, but he is like a cryptid, so he looks kind of crazy. Okay, more art block. Guy who looks like Toji but isn't, and then Toji with a shrink ray. Because, oh, and then I considered making like a Night Toji like drawing, and then I was like, nah, but looking at it now, I really want to. And then here, this really doesn't say a lot to most people, but for me, I was really excited about because I was trying to, like, with comic making, you can't just have, like, I guess you can if you really wanted to, but you can't just have, like, one character in one frame or, like, interacting at all times with each other, you know what I mean? And so I really wanted to have two characters, like, interacting, or, like, in the same space, you know, talking or doing things, or just, like, being, like, one that, like, looked right, or, like, looked kind of fluid. And so that's, you know, isn't the best drawing of it or the best sketch for it, but it was a start of me trying to accomplish that thing, you know? Also, this sketch down here is pretty cool. I don't know why, but he ended up being pretty chill. And then these look like absolute gibberish, but I promise you, they are something. These were sketch daily practices, and typically for, like, if I do practice of any kind, it's very quick, it's very to the point. I don't like to, I like spending time on it. I feel like if I try spending time on it, it just makes me more confused, and I feel like I'm not really getting anything done. And so the best way for me to personally practice, if I'm not, like, you know, breaking it down, is just like sketches. And so I'll put on like 10 seconds on Sketch Daily, and I'll put a bunch of random sketches and gesture drawings down. And so that's what this is. It's just sketch over sketch over sketch, like you lay it on top of each other. And for me, it's helpful. Also, it relieves pressure of having to make something look perfect. Here I have, I think it was buildings I was doing, and then some animals, and it's like a little bear down here, which is super cute. Some kind of bird or something is right there. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, I think this part of the sketchbook is where I pick up a bit more. I think towards the middle, I went through like a crazy area of depression, and so I kind of didn't draw as much because art block. And now we kind of lose that a bit. Pen sketches, I was doing that a bit more. I like some of the hatching. It's very delicate for some reason, but I don't do that now. I don't really do that now. I don't know why. I'm lazy, that's why. That's actually the truth. I'm just too lazy. So I got these cheap alcohol markers, and so I swatched them, did whatever. I tried a new coloring style, did not like it. So we're gonna skip by it. That's it. With the cheap markers, I tried grayscale one more time, and at the time, I think I liked it. I was pretty proud of it, but looking at it now, I didn't really push values, and again, the perspective is super wonky, so I don't know about that, but I give myself kudos and 10 points for trying. Here, we have an OC, or a character I was making, just for funsies. I love them, they're super cute. I like drawing motorcycles from my head too. Like some things I like drawing from my brain for some reason, and like some of them are like kind of complicated just because I can. And so motorcycle and dude in the back. Another dude, super cute. I don't know who he is, don't know what he's doing, don't care. He's adorable. Random person putting on like a little jacket, very cool. My OC Chuck doing things, existing. And here's a page of characters I made because I can. I had named them Quinn, but their name is not Quinn. Take it off. I had used the name Quinn for another OC I was making, which, if you know what I'm talking about, for an animation I was doing, and I'm technically almost done with, or like a little short animation. But yeah, that's, scratch that off. I like these characters a lot, actually. I love their designs, I love their color palettes, I love like their vibes and what's going on there. And so I do want to draw them and like put them in their own little universe one day, or like, you know, for funsies, maybe just for like little cameos, not like a full thing. I love cherry starburst. I love cherry flavored anything red, honestly. Food related is really good to me. Favorite color food is red. Little lamb character, I think, little lamb or angel or something. That was cute. Sonic, but it was kind of in the style of, what is that, like the Goofy movie, I think, and a bunch of random little sketches. Again, I do love like this idea of like this like little species, like long necks and little fawn ears and stuff like that. And I tried doing the same thing here, but it didn't really end up as right, you know. Some things I like on this, some things I really don't like on this. But it was fun to just like use gouache and use color again, so there's that. Next up, we have mini a sketch. So I was doing a lot of sketches with like this little fountain pen or something, and I had like the brown ink that I got in there. So a lot of those. I love this character, and they look so cool. Some pencil sketches, pencil marks, some crazy characters, fighting characters because I love that. I'm in love with her. Random thing. Got the camera, some bumblebees and flowers, more fighting. These are some cool socks I got. I think this was during Christmas or around that time or something. So we have Spider-Man. Got Spider-Man socks, really cool. I got Adventure Time socks, pretty cool. Here's Ickis from Real Monsters. I love that show. It's really cool. This is these were the dip pen again. I had tried out, and I really like this effect I did. I don't know how. I don't know. I think I just kind of wrote things down really fast and then like smeared it. But I didn't like how it ended up. I think I want to try this technique again, but now that I'm better at using it. More random bodies, dudes kissing because. And that's kind of it. Dapper bird. I like that guy. I think this concept also is super cool. I might go back to it. The entire thing was like kind of like a motorcycle helmet, but it's like the helmet has like the parts of a motorcycle, you know? I don't know. It made more sense in my head, but you know, turned out different. My character, Sume, trying to get groceries, and it's hot outside, and so he's dying a little. Random characters doing whatever. I realized I don't really draw characters being intimate a whole lot, and I was like, I have a Twitter, might as well. So looking at that, I like this idea. I might even use it for a sticker one day. I think it's really cool. And then this is just super cute and adorable. They're hugging. Here's where things get interesting, because I discovered that I could smear and use my line art for shading when I use my inks because they're not waterproof. And so here was me trying that with like the blue, not liking it as much, so kind of giving up on it immediately. And then I tried it with that brown, and I've done this a few more times recently, and they've ended up super cool. Let me bring it up because I feel like I've perfected the technique of using it. Let me see. Yeah. So since this is the first attempt I've ever tried, or like one of the first attempts of like trying successfully at trying this technique, and I finally have it down to a science, and I'm super excited about it. I'll definitely try it again in the future, and do it again and again and again. Fish. Species. I don't know. More little sketches and stuff like that. I think it was on live stream when I was drawing these, and so someone had asked me to draw. What's his name? The night guy. Oh my god, I forgot his name. I don't know. I feel so bad now. But he was super cute, super fun to draw. Might draw him again. Here we have like some vegetables and fruits and stuff like that from memory again, because I don't know why I can't be happy. And that's what I did. So there's strawberries, cherries, olives, blueberries, bananas, it's like a pomegranate or tomato, and then an onion. I was just like layering watercolors. Random sketches again, not much going on, but I was kind of like looking more into like the back muscle, I think, for this one. I was kind of like looking at like, oh, like backs have these parts. And so, yeah. Next up, I tried using washes. I really want to start using more gradients and washes in my art, but I'm really lazy. I always forget that's like an option. I do use washes technically. Like I'll put like a solid color wash, but I want to use more like, blue into red or like green into purple kind of washes instead of just having like a yellow, It's random sketches, random people, not much going on, super cute. Oh, this was done on a live stream, and I kind of just like made this up or whatever. It's like a creature or something, and we gave it like a scientific name. We gave it a bunch of like facts about itself and things like that. And it is a super cool thing. I do respect it as a species, and I think it should be looked at as an actual species. And I will be drawing it again someday. I kept using my little pin or whatever. Not much going on. I had like this giant mech idea, but the inside is like a person, you know, like controlling it. And so this is the person who's like inside the pit, in the pit. And yeah, that was it. I mean, it's kind of a basic idea. I feel like it's been done a lot, but I don't know. I feel like designing some kind of like mech character looked kind of cool. More bugs because I don't know why. I love drawing stars and stuff on pants. I've been doing it a lot, even lately, even now. More of these from gauntlets and baggy pants and stuff like that. I think someone had asked me about drawing fabric on a live stream, so I tried giving them like, oh, here's how I do it, or here's what I know about drawing fabrics and stuff like that. Probably wasn't helpful because I don't know what I'm talking about. More sketches. Oh, this is designs for a painting that I was doing and still kind of working on. This painting actually haven't finished. I haven't really worked on it as much, and it is huge. It is like at least like 5 by 6 foot. It is a huge, or like it's like 5 by 4.5 maybe, or like 6 by 4.5. It's a huge painting, and it's in my room, and I've only worked on it a few times, and it's been so long at this point that I have improved a lot, and I just want to repaint it and change a lot that I have, like the progress that I have made. So, been looking at it weird. One day. I don't know who this guy is, but I'm in love with him. In a cathedral or something, and some random little things. I don't know. People, outfits, ideas. I say and a lot. I'm so sorry. Again, not much going on. A lot of just drawing bodies and poses. I think at this point in the sketchbook, we're towards the end, so I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to put for the next sketchbook, if I wanted to do like a first page. And here's the last page of the sketchbook. I love this, actually. I do want to draw this again. It was just basically like a caterpillar body, and like kind of like a mermaid, but it's like a caterpillar instead. And it has like an anthropod. It had like the cool legs and little furs and stuff like that. And I don't know, so cool. This is the last page of the sketchbook. I ended up not doing any of these or anything from this for the next sketchbook, but I did do this, and that is the current sketchbook that I'm on. And so you can see that 2024 number 1, because I realized I have a lot of sketchbooks and I have never actually numbered them or labeled them before, and so I started then. I feel like that took a long time. I think we're like 40 something minutes into this, and it was a lot of ands and ums and rambling and things you probably couldn't understand because of the way I speak. But if you stuck around for this long, or if you enjoyed the sketchbook tour, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Tell me what you thought about it, and tell me what I could do to improve the sketchbook tours next time. This is my first one, and so I'm not really sure how to film it and shoot it, or how to, I don't know. Should I edit these? Should I make them more concise? Do you want them longer? Do you want more in-depth ones? Do you want like multiple sketchbook tours in one video? Let me know. And again, thanks for watching, and have a great day.